The first white paper you're going to want to spend some time on is the security white paper. And once again, we've covered a lot of this in this course, but just as an overview, you'll want to make sure you covered their topics on shared security, which cover the shared security responsibility model for infrastructure, container services, and abstracted service. Next is IAM, so just making sure you know how to manage your IAM users, groups, and credentials. And next, I would definitely spend some time looking at their strategies on protecting your data at rest, specifically in services like S3, EBS, RDS, Glacier, and so on. And next, we did cover VPC in a lot of detail already, but I'd spend some time looking at their VPC section in the white paper. And then finally, I would look at how they recommend managing your security monitoring as well. Next, I would go over AWS's white paper on the 5 pillars of the AWS Will Architect framework. Now, I do recommend reading over this on your own time, but just to cover these very quickly, what each of these are first we have operational excellence, and that is the ability to run and monitor systems to deliver business value and to continually improve supporting processes and procedures. Next, we have security, and that's the ability to protect information, systems, and assets while delivering business value through risk assessments and mitigation strategies. Next, we have reliability, which is the ability of a system to recover from infrastructure or service disruptions, dynamically acquire computing resources to meet demand, and mitigate disruptions such as misconfigurations or transient network issues. Next, we have performance efficiency, which is the ability to use computing resources efficiently to meet system requirements and to maintain that efficiency as demand changes and technologies evolve. And finally, there's cost optimization, which is the ability to run systems to deliver business value at the lowest price point. Once again, there is some really great information in this white paper, so I recommend spending some time on it. Now, when you go over the next white paper, which is Cloud Architecting Best Practices, here's a quick list of things to focus your attention on. That includes the advantages of cloud computing, how it's scalable, what disposable resources mean, specifically when it pertains to an immutable environment, how to use AWS automation, how to focus on cost optimization, and then again, how to focus on security. The next thing to focus on is the CI/CD white paper, and specifically, you're going to want to pay attention to what they tout as the benefits, the tools that they recommend using to implement it, and then their different deployment methods. In the next white paper, which is on microservices, you're going to want to spend some time specifically going over the characteristics of a microservice and what makes it a microservice, the benefits of using them, and then how to implement microservices on AWS. Next, we have serverless architecture, and for this one, you're going to want to spend some time going over Lambda once more, and then also the best practices when implementing serverless architecture, and finally, optimizing cost efficiency. Next, we have containerized microservices, and once again, you're going to want to spend some time in this AWS white paper going over the characteristics of microservices, the benefits of using containerized microservices, and then finally, how to implement design best practices when deploying microservices in AWS. And then finally is the white paper on blue-green deployment. Now, we have covered blue-green deployment in this course, but it definitely wouldn't hurt to give this white paper a look, specifically focusing on what blue-green deployment is and how to implement it using different AWS tools and techniques. And if all of that makes sense, then feel free to move on.